Hi everyone, it's Brittany with Tennessee National Wildlife Refuge, and we have a really fun activity planned for you today. We're going to be doing some cloud journaling. So we're going to be talking about clouds. Now, we had a previous daily activity where we talked about the water cycle. And in the water cycle, we learned about evaporation, where water comes up in little bitty tiny droplets up into the air, and then they accumulate together and they form a cloud. So that's how clouds are formed. And then clouds continue to get bigger and bigger, and they get more and more rain, they get heavier, and then finally the rain starts to fall as precipitation. And then it hits the ground, or it goes back into the water. If it hits the ground, there's ground flow, where it will flow back into a water source, and then it'll go through the cycle again. So that was a brief recap on the water cycle, which has a big part of clouds, because the water cycle is part of creating your cloud. Now, there's different kinds of clouds out there, and they mean different things. So we're going to jump in, and I'm going to show you some of the different types of clouds that are out there. Alright, so right here we have an example of cirrus clouds. Now, these types of clouds, they're wispy and feathery looking, and they're made completely and entirely of ice crystals. This is a sign that warm air may be moving in. Then we have cumulus clouds. Now these are pretty cool. They're big and white and fluffy. They're kind of cotton ball looking, and they're going to be kind of flat on the bottom of the cloud, and they're going to be rounded on the top of the cloud. And this is a sign that you're going to have fair weather, so good weather. And then we also have stratus clouds. Now, this is a flat blanket looking gray layer of clouds, and this may mean you may have no precipitation, or you may have some precipitation, and it would be light rain, some drizzle, those kinds of things. So it's a layer of gray cloud cover, like a blanket. And the last one I'm going to show you today is called the Nimbus Cloud. Now, Nimbus clouds are a form of your stratus clouds. They're also that dark gray color, but they're in thick, dense clouds. That's how they form. And this is when they're already producing some precipitation or snow. So it's already having that flowing. So now, for your daily activity journal, now that you've learned a little bit about the different types of clouds and what they mean, you are going to do a nature journal. So in your nature journal, you're going to want to mark the date, and then you can do this several times throughout the day. You can record what the clouds look like in the morning, and then the early afternoon, late afternoon, and in the evening. And if you need to, you can write down your definitions in there so that you remember what they are. So when you draw it, you also want to label what types of clouds you're seeing, and then see how things change throughout the day. And you can see signs that you may have some rain coming. Now, a cool thing about your stratus clouds, which was your thick gray clouds, is that when they're low to the ground, they're the ones that actually are forming fog. So that's pretty cool. So now let's take a look and see what type of clouds I have, and see if you can't figure out what they are. And then go and figure out what types of clouds you have in your sky today. Okay everyone, so these are the clouds that I see up in my sky today. Take a look and see if you can't figure out what types of clouds you're seeing. All right, so there are two types of clouds out there this afternoon, and one of them are cumulus clouds, which are these big fluffy clouds right here. And then the other type of clouds that I'm seeing are cirrus. So that's those up there. They're feathery and wispy, and they look kind of like horsetails. So now it's your turn. You go out in your backyard and see what kind of clouds you see from your house. I hope you enjoy this activity, and I will see you next time for our next daily activity. Bye everyone.